Welcome to my new series, Mow Time Makeover, where we're going to show you before and after editions of all cool season lawns with different and various grass types to prove to you that you can take on this project back at home and it's easier than you might think. And by the end of it, you're going to learn a lot and you're going to feel a little bit more confident taking on a project like this yourself. Let's get after it. We officially have grass babies.
It makes me feel like a failure of a suburban dad.
I feel like our backyard is just a mess of grass and rocks and dirt.
Probably the worst I've ever seen it.
Horrible grass, patchy grass all the time. We'd love to get something more out of this lawn.
Grass with a G, G-R, grass. Anybody have a goat? It is seeding day. What do we think?
It's freaking awesome.
That seed just worked like magic here.
Those are all different factors that go into selecting the right grass type.
Should I keep everyone off the lawn? What am I supposed to do? It looks so good.
It's gone. You can't even see it. What happened to it?
That's what she said.
The results blew away my expectations.
Drink beer, lay in the lawn.
I absolutely stole a juice box out of my mom's fridge earlier when I was there. Anybody can have a lawn like this if you want to.
Oh yeah, that's real nice. That's so soft.
Boy, was it worth it. For the inaugural episode of Mow Time Makeover, we're going to start here at the Casa de Ope, and we are going to be renovating my front yard. We're going to be doing a massive leveling project. We're going to be ripping this thing basically to shreds, starting over and putting my favorite grass down, perennial ryegrass, so we can make that transition from a tall rotary cut down to a real mower cut. Now, this is not going to be for everybody, but this is a fun transition because it really will be a huge before and after night and day difference for how we manage the lawn, the work going into it, and figuring out if this is maybe something that you want to do or if you're going to be wanting to go to another grass type that's maybe more suited for your lifestyle. So without further ado, let's go on to what we're going to be getting done. So the first step to this process has already actually been completed. We have gone over and mowed low. We've gotten all of the spring cleanup out of there, all the mulch, all of the debris, all the rocks up. We have dethatched this entire area as you see here. And the next step is we're gonna go and core aerate this area a whole bunch. We're going deep and we're taking some plugs out, which now that I think about it could go a whole bunch of different ways depending on where your mind goes. But that's what we're doing. We're core aerating and we're taking up those plugs and we're going to let the soil breathe and we're going to just let it do its thing. So if we get nice and close, you can see that these cores will actually go around and puncture the ground and actually pull up the cores that come through that little hollow tine part. I'm gonna do this about 3 or 4 times over to really make sure that we can get in there with that new soil that we're gonna introduce, level it out, roll it out, make sure it's nice and level before we actually lay our seed down. So this is all prep work leading up to that. All right, core aeration is complete, and straight up, that job is always harder than it seems on paper. So just account for that. You're gonna want some Advil, maybe some ice afterwards. If you've never done it before, you're gonna be using muscles you haven't used in a long time. If you have in-ground irrigation, you're gonna wanna mark your sprinkler heads. So turn them on and for like a minute and actually just mark all of the heads. And that way you don't accidentally hit one of the sprinkler heads or do any damage that is unintended when you're going and doing the core aeration project. So don't ask me how I know that. I am on my way to Twin City Seed to pick up 50 pounds of elite certified perennial ryegrass. It's 2 of the darkest types of perennial ryegrass available on the market. And that's specifically what I told the team that I wanted to do for my front yard, is I'm bringing it down from a rotary cut down to a real height of cut using a cylinder mower. And the reason why I'm doing that is because first off, I'm crazy, but I've always liked the look of it. I don't like wheel ruts. I just think it's a fun challenge to take on. So I'm going for it. I'm only gonna be doing it for about 2,500 square feet in my front yard. I'm gonna keep the back the exact same as what I usually did. But nonetheless, it's an exciting time. Let's go learn a little bit about what these blends of perennial ryegrass will do, who it's for, and maybe it fits right for you. Good to see you.
Hey, how's it going, Oak?
Not bad, not bad. You guys good?
Yeah, tis the season.
Pumping in here. It's awesome. It's awesome. You got seed everywhere. So we got Fireball Hat Trick. What do we got to know?
Yeah, so the name of the game when it comes to these 2 cultivars, it's all about dark genetic color, where every few years, NTEP, the National Turfgrass Evaluation Program, They go out and they judge all these different cultivars for all sorts of different traits. And these two were the top 2 performers for dark genetic color.
Love that. Love that. Dark color. All right. So I told you we got about 2,500 square feet in the front that we're going to do like a hard overseed with. So this is going to fit perfect in that front lawn.
Yeah, where these higher end perennial ryegrasses, they can really withstand a little bit of a lower mowing height. Where if you're looking to go down, certainly below 2 inches, even around the 1 inch range, something high quality perennial ryegrass is what you're looking for.
All right, James, thanks for your help, man. This has been awesome.
Yeah,
we'll
my
keep
pleasure.
you updated along the way.
For
Project.
Sure. Can't wait for the progress pics.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Take care. All right, so it's been a day. We've got our lawn dethatched. We mowed that low, we picked up all the clippings, we got our core aeration done, and now it's time to go mess around with this guy, the Cub Cadet, and get all of those cores up because we need to start leveling the lawn with that pile right behind me. So that's gonna be fun. Let's get after it. Oh, that brings a new definition to dust storm. I think the Cubby's gonna need a little car wash after this. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Look at that. All right, now that we got all the cores picked up and bagged up, we're ready to start leveling the lawn with our topsoil. Now, I've got a little bit thicker areas, so I've chosen to just do topsoil, but this is as thin as you can possibly get it. We're at the local landscape supply that I've got, and you can still see that there's some big chunks here. They break down pretty easily, but there's still some debris that we want to break down, which is why I always wanted to get into the sift screener. I always recommend that. It's not required, but look at all of the stuff that it keeps out. If you look at all of this is the stuff that won't break down as easily. I'm trying to crush it, and then you got some big rocks in here, which for what I'm doing with real mowing is no bueno. So that being said, this is what we've got. It takes a little bit longer, there's no doubt about that, but it's a huge step that I would always recommend to anybody, especially if they're trying to consider going down to a real mow. All right, so we got our first bucket full, and this is exactly what we want. Just that super fine topsoil. There's none of that large debris. There's a little bit of mulch that you can see here, a little bit of tiny ones, that's okay, but that's because it came with the pile of mulch. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone, but this is effectively what we're gonna wanna level our lawn with. Yep, takes a little bit of time. You'll thank me in the long run when you only have to level your lawn half of the amount of times that you do if you were to use this stuff. All of the piles on one side completely smoothed out. So when you're leveling your lawn, this is kind of what it should look like. You have some undulations that we're going to go over with, and some fine tuning that we will hit with the lawn roller or the water drum. That's something you can rent out. You could purchase these, but you could probably get them from your local supply store. We're gonna roll this out, and that will help us find any low-lying areas that we currently can't see, that haven't figured itself out yet or haven't popped out yet. And then we'll use some of the extra dirt that we've got or the soil that we have to kind of repeat that process until it's as smooth as we want it or as desired. It is here, the second best day of the entire year. And I say second best because the first best is when we start getting grass babies from our seed. It is seeding day. We get to plant our seed today, so it's the second best day of the year. And that is only the case because we're playing beat the rain. We've got rain in the forecast. I don't know how much. With my luck, it'll probably get the seed down and then be like a complete washout, and here we are 3 days later putting seed down again, but hoping not. But with that, we have dethatched, we have core aerated, we've picked all of those up, we've introduced the topsoil to level out our lawn and make that really smooth, to set the foundation to start introducing better lawn leveling agents as time goes on for more of a long-term approach like sand and compost and all of those things. But nonetheless, we are ready to start seeding. And I am gonna go over this with a lawn roller, make sure we haven't missed any of the really big undulations that we just can't see right now. But we are gonna do our final touches with the lawn leveling project, and then we're gonna start laying our seed. That 50-50 mix of perennial ryegrass, hat trick, and fireball from Twin City Seed. Super, super dark. I am really excited to see what this looks like in just a couple days, couple weeks, and in the coming months as we get towards summer and start enjoying this lawn again. But the rain is coming, we have work to do, and there is not a lot of time to do that work in, so enough of me talking, let's go seed, and let's get this grass growing. And there it is, the rain. However, we got done just enough that we needed to make this a successful project just in the nick of time. We got our seed down, we rolled that with our water drum, and that way we've got nice seed to soil contact. The only thing we didn't get done on top of that was mesotrione. So it's a selective herbicide, doesn't target the grass seed, but it targets everything we just introduced to this lawn, which is less than ideal. But when there's rain, that's okay anyway. So this might be a tomorrow project. I'll come out here, it would still be just like an on and off thing. Won't be on the seed all too much. But that way we can control what we can from the situation and go from there. The time has come. It is time to reveal what my front lawn looks like about a month and a half after we started our initial projects. And this project does take time, it takes attention, and like everything else, good things come to those who wait here, especially in an upper Midwest spring when you decide to spring seed coming out of a long winter. So here is what my lawn looked like before we started this whole entire thing. It was more of a 50-50 blend of Kentucky bluegrass with a little bit of perennial ryegrass mixed into it. And here is what we're looking at afterwards. Words cannot describe the amount of satisfaction I have in terms of how this project has went. Patience was an issue with me. It took a lot for me to convince myself that I didn't fail. We had slow germination times, longer than the 3 to 7 days that I had previously mentioned coming out of spring. We had a couple washouts that I had to prepare for. We had a couple disease pressure issues, which is natural with perennial ryegrass, most notably with Pythium blight. Won't get too much into that, but that's always a concern. So I had to pivot a couple times throughout this entire project. But with that being said, all things considered, I am super impressed. The look of it, the color already with it's not even fully mature yet, perennial ryegrass front lawn. Super, super excited about how it looked. So before and after, night and day difference in terms of what it went to. I needed a lot of Advil, a lot of water, but boy was it worth it. And here we are afterwards. As you can see, the color is here. The stripes behind me are impeccable, but it was a long journey. And I do tell everyone this, perennial ryegrass is not for everyone. Real mowing is not for everyone, but it is indeed a night and day transformation. Here is where we were before at about a 3-inch height of cut, and now we are all the way down to 0.6 inches, which is real low in comparison. You can go lower, probably not gonna go too much lower than this, given the heat stresses and all of those with an upper Midwest summer, but I cannot be more happy with the result of this particular project. It was a lot of work to do, dethatching, core aeration, lawn leveling. That's a big project. Make sure you know what you're getting into, but anybody can do it with the right equipment and the right teamwork and the right amount of Advil. That's a big key component to a project like this. If you've been through it, you know exactly what we're talking about, but anybody can have a lawn like this if you want to. Is it the right grass type for you? Well, that's up for you and only you to decide based upon the list of questions that we covered earlier in this episode. Join us in our next episode when we start talking about other turf grasses for cool season lawns, Kentucky bluegrass, tall fescues, and fine fescues, and even some drought-tolerant TWCA certified grass types that will help you save on water and also maintain a green lawn just like this all throughout the year. I'm Mo. This has been your inaugural episode of Mow Time Makeover, and we'll catch you next time. Things considered, I think things are going pretty well. What do you think? Yeah, going well. Isn't it a little warm for that sweater though? Christmas in July, I guess.